and gents, welcome to War Thunder with Mags, and welcome to a quick update. So, this is normally stuff that I would put in a vlog, but I really only do a vlog once a month, and the last one was only a couple of days ago. However, this is something that I really think you guys needed an explanation on. So, in my last vlog, I talked about how I put up a PayPal donations button. It was just a little something so that if any of my subs out there wanted to give me a bit of hand getting along with a few things, they could throw a couple of bucks my way and it'll be excellent. If they didn't, well, that's cool, the video content will keep coming regardless. Now, I also discussed a Patreon, and that I wasn't quite ready to set up a Patreon, and I wasn't quite entirely sure on how it all worked, and wasn't comfortable with a couple of things, how it looked like I had to have certain rewards, and as a general rule, I just didn't like the look of it straight away. Now, within 6 hours of that video going live, the PayPal donations button had been removed and had been replaced with a donate to my Patreon button. What the hell happened? Now, a few things happened all at once. Now, the first thing that happened was I got a number of donations almost straight away, which blew me away. I really wasn't expecting it. Salute out there to those who did. And thank you for donating early, because otherwise it would have been possibly longer before I realised exactly what was about to happen. So I got a few people that donated. Within probably 4 hours, I was still at work when the email arrived on my computer. I received a big question mark. What are these donations for? Now, that was simple enough to fix. I just shot an email back explaining what it was all about, and all was well and good. Everything went through. But then I got an email from one of my subscribers. Now, you see, I set the donations thing up because you do get a receipt. Whenever you donate to anything, you get a receipt for it, and that receipt generally contains the details for the charity or company or whatever it is that you're donating to. Now, I set mine up to give out details for MagzTV, which included the MagzTV business name. It included a PO box that could be contacted on, and a few other things is what I put into the system to be on the receipt, all the stuff that would be legally required if you were to donate to a business. However, some of my personal information got sent out as well. Actually, as far as I'm aware, none of the business information that I actually filled in got sent out. It was only my personal information that got sent out to the people who donated. Now, my channel's been blessed with one of the best YouTube communities that I've ever really seen, so I don't think the little bit of personal information that went out to the few people that donated is going to ever come back and give me any problems, so I'm not worried about that at all. But we do live in an age where swatting is commonplace, where people are both threatened with extreme violence and death on a regular basis just for voicing their opinions on the internet. Defending one's personal information is a pretty important thing to do, so I immediately killed the donations button and looked into it, and it turns out that, well, basically, PayPal is going to hand out my personal information to anyone that asks if I use any of their features or options to go through the products. I'd have to create an entirely new PayPal and start again, and this time not put any personal information on, but that means it's a PayPal that I actually can't use for any ad revenue or anything else, because that's required for me to have my personal information on it. It's sort of like giving out a bank account. Now, clearly this was a little bit of a problem, and if I'm having problems with PayPal 6 hours after I've activated a donations button, then clearly PayPal is not the way to be doing this, so I was going to have to go through some other source. Luckily, I had spent a little bit of time earlier on the day reading up a little bit more about Patreon, as it was advised that I do so, and it turns out that why Patreon does recommend that you do certain things with your account in order to improve its functionality. In the end, all control is on the hands of the user. They don't enforce that you do anything, so I can quite easily create a Patreon account that has absolutely no bonuses whatsoever, and that is perfectly fine. They don't recommend it, but that's my choice to make. And so I quickly created a Patreon account. Now, at the moment it's pretty bare bones. It's only got a basic image covering it all. It's only got the basic details for my YouTube account, what I do. I don't have any introductory videos or explanations for myself, like no Patreon intros or anything done for it yet. They are stuff that I'm going to have to make and upload over the next week or so, and I'm going to make a video explaining the details on my Patreon campaign and what it will include when I've actually made my decisions on a lot of it. And that will be available here on YouTube. So I guess the most important question that's going to get asked at some point is, why am I doing all this in the first place? And it's something that I really didn't go into on the vlog, and it's something that I probably should have, because I'm going to be doing some videos covering it and explaining it more in the very near future. Now, for those of you who have been watching through my videos, would have seen, it's not really a recent video now, my cockpit and joystick video. For those of you who haven't seen it, pause the video here, flick through and have a quick watch. I'll wait. All good? Okay. So, I have a condition called keratoconus. It's a degenerative disorder in my eyes. Effectively, I'm blind in the left eye. I can only see out of my right eye due to a very specialised, very expensive contact lens that gives me, it pushes my eye into the correct shape. Now, I'm going to do a video on this condition in the future because, well, why it's not stupidly rare, it's not exactly a common condition, and the level that I've got is relatively rare as well, and I want to do something as a bit of an opportunity to explain to people that there's some of the gamers out there that you think are perfectly fine actually have some pretty severe life issues in order to be able to do stuff, so sometimes be a nice bloke. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. The core of this is, it's a degenerative condition. It's going to get worse. Now, why I do have a day job at the moment, and, well, I do enjoy it, it is getting harder and harder to be able to do it. My eye, my one good eye, which I rely on to be able to do my job, it's getting harder and harder every day to be able to do what I do. The eye's becoming more sensitive as it's getting worse. Now, I've probably only got anywhere between a year and 2 years of actual work life left in me due to this condition. What this means, effectively I'll still be able to, drive a car with contact lenses in. I'll still be able to do stuff like this YouTube channel, and I'll be able to do a whole bunch of other things. But I'll be considered unviable for insurance to actually have as an employee. Basically, in about 2 years' time, I'm going to be 33 years old with a wife and 3 kids and considered medically unemployable. And look at this douchebag trying to team kill me here. Just quickly dodge out of the way, put guns on his back, put a shot into him to make sure he knows where he's on the pecking order, and go back after the BB-1. There are very few times when I have ever intentionally team killed, but I'm not above running some light machine guns over somebody's wing just to make sure they know exactly what I could do to them if I was so inclined. Now, as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, now I've known about this for some time. I've known about it for a couple of years. This is what I face. There is surgery that I can have that will kinda, sorta, maybe fix the problem, but the honest truth is it's more likely just going to stop the progression rather than actually solve the problem. And that's where this channel comes in. Honestly, 12 months ago, this channel was just fun. That's all it ever was. And it still is today. I really enjoy making videos, I really enjoy you guys watching them, and I really love chatting to you guys about various planes, parts of history. It's just great. I can't think of a better hobby. I really can't. But 12 months ago, I couldn't have envisioned how much this channel would have grown and how much I would still be enjoying it. I really couldn't. And I'm beginning to see that this is big enough that if I do the right things and expand the channel in the right way at this point, this has the potential to actually be the job that replaces my job when I'm no longer able to work. And that's really important to me, because the alternative at this point was probably to be a 33-year-old man on disability benefits, and that is not something that appealed to me at all. I could not stand the idea of that, but I just didn't know what I would be able to do. And I can think of much worse things to do than working for a living, playing computer games, and making videos for the entertainment and, well, hopefully a little bit of education as well for the people on YouTube. I can think of very few things that I would enjoy doing more. So anyways guys, that's what this was all about. That's what I've been trying to start doing on this end. I'm trying to work out how to turn my hobby into my future career, and I hope you'll all come along for the ride. So the same thing applies for my Patreon as did for the donations button. It's if you want to throw in a couple of bucks to give me a hand, please do. If you don't worry, I'm not going to jam it down your throat. There will be a video on my Patreon campaign made and uploaded to the channel probably in the next week or so, but that will probably be the first and last you hear from it for some time. I might bring it up every now and again, but it's not going to be something that's... I'm not going to jam it down your throats. You don't need to worry about that. Now, as I was saying earlier, there are currently no bonuses on my Patreon for becoming one of my patrons. However, that is going to change. There will be some, however, I'm not going to do premium content, so I will never create something that is only available for my patrons. It will be available to everybody. I don't want to lock my content off in that way. What I am thinking about doing is allowing early access to my patrons, so they will get a video, say, 24, maybe 48 hours ahead of when it goes live on my YouTube. So those who have become patrons will be able to see stuff. Basically, there'll be a video in front of where everybody else is. That sort of stuff, where everybody still gets the content in the end, but there's still a reward for those who are giving me a little bit of a hand in securing a future. I don't know. You guys actually throw some comments around. Tell me what you think. Tell me what I should do in terms of bonuses, because I feel like there should be something there. But anyways, guys, that is what's going on. That is why the PayPal button disappeared and a Patreon rapidly replaced it. That is why I'm going through the time and effort to set all this up at the moment. I hope you understand. I hope you want to still come along for the ride. And I should probably wrap this up, because my quick update is nearly 12 minutes long at the moment, which is half the length of one of my normal videos. Hope you enjoyed the battle in the background. It was a fun one to fly, except for the douchebag trying to team kill me. My next video will be tomorrow night, the BF-109 F4 Tropical, so I hope you tune in to watch that one. Until next time, guys, fly smart, fly safe, and I'll catch you in the skies.